Don attended Carter School of Mines, and I went to Colorado Women's College, which was a 2-year school. And my roommate was dating Don's roommate. They decided that we should go out. So our first date was a blind date. We continued dating. Eventually, Don graduated. My 2 years was up at CWC. We both transferred to USC, where Don got a master's, and I finished my education and got a teaching credential.
In July 1964, we were married. From there, we started pursuing our dreams for the future. May 7 of 1967, we had a drastic change in our vision of the future.
God gave us David, a little boy with Down syndrome.
The doctor came in and told Margo and I what I would recommend taking your child home and loving him for a couple of weeks and then putting him in an institution. He was just doing his best. That's what they knew. He wasn't being mean-spirited. That was just... Well, that never, ever was going to happen with Margo and I.
The Holy Spirit was just in both of us. And, I never mentioned anything to Don about going back or making another appointment, and he didn't either. So we just went merrily on our way. 3 years later, we were blessed with Annie, and a year after that, we were blessed with Christopher. Through David, God taught us a lot of lessons. He taught us compassion, humility, patience, and love. David was just a real strong force in the life of both Annie and Christopher. And I can remember once Annie growing up, she said, I really choose my friends by those who accept and love David too. Life wasn't always real easy. Our precious David went through many major surgeries, long hospital stays, and long recoveries. When we were first married, we moved a lot, so we were always looking for a church. When David was little, it was easy, but as he got older, it was very difficult to find a church with a program and what we would have given to have the program Calvary has. Don and my heart just kind of warms in church when there's a video up there showing what the Special Abilities Group is doing. Not only do they help the people with special abilities, but Calvary embraces the whole family. I just want to say thank you, Calvary.
In 1990, had another very difficult situation. In July of 1990, David passed away. Of course, that left a huge void in our family. Our life became very empty, and we were thinking, how can we possibly fill the void?
Don went back to work, and the children went back to school, and I went back to bed. And one morning, I had a knock on the door, and one of my Christian friends was there. And she said, get dressed, we're going out to breakfast. And she knocked on my door every morning for over a month. And I went out with her friends and had breakfast. And that helped me through my depression and kind of get back on my feet to where I could get up and go out on my own. Dawn talked me into looking into special ed. I went back to school and got my master's in special ed. For the next 20 years, I worked in Southern California supporting kids and students with disabilities in the general ed classroom.
In 2000, another opportunity presented itself. Through our church at the time, we joined a 2-week mission trip to a remote village in Kenya to conduct a vacation Bible school.
It took a little encouragement, but we got, I think, 10 or more moms and families to bring their child with special abilities. These children were invisible. There was no school program, no programs whatsoever, and the children were really kept at home.
So when we came home and returned from the trip, we formed a Baraka Foundation, and the mission of that was to initiate and build a program for special abilities children in the surrounding area. Fast forwarding to 2023, the mission having been accomplished, we dissolved Baraka, and the results of the mission were a school program for children with disabilities had been deemed by the government to be an official school. There were 80 children with special needs getting a formal education on a daily basis. That's all the way from nothing to that. So we really take a lot of pleasure in seeing that. Margo and I will think from time to time that really our son David now lives in Africa.
We can feel the hand of God through David from Taft, California to Makobi, Kenya. We loved our little David. We miss him. I just always thought David was a special gift from God. God used him to teach me and help me and our family, our whole family.